All right, we're gonna do a 20 round mag dump at 200 yards with 5.56. So the idea here is that once I start shooting, I want to shoot as fast as I can while still holding onto my aiming point, right? Keeping my chevron on the bullseye, and then we'll look at the timing, right? We'll see the time elapse in the video to see how fast I can do it, and we'll also go down range and look at the accuracy. Now, the ammunition that I'm using is Wolf WM193. It has gotten one MOA, 4 out of 5 shots many times, okay? So it's pretty accurate ammo. And I'm going to be in 8 magnification. That's the max on this primary arms PLX scope. I should be able to stay, be in that 8 magnification and stay on the, keep my my chevron on the bullseye through all 20 shots, firing as fast as I can. Okay, so a couple of interesting things there. First of all, while I was shooting, I could actually see the smoke coming out of the rifle. Yeah, so the barrel heated up pretty good. Like I can't really hold on to the barrel. I mean, handrail, nothing's transferred to the rail yet. But it was interesting. Like as I was shooting, right, both eyes open, I could see smoke coming out of this area. The other thing that was interesting, because normally when I shoot for accuracy, right, I do 5-shot groups, and I really take my time between the shots. And what was happening here is that because I was trying to shoot as fast as possible, the way the gun is resting on this bag, like the gun would go bang, like I could see my reticle like basically bouncing, right? So it would go bang, it would bounce once or twice. I'd have to wait for that bounce to stop before I could take my next shot. So it was boom, bounce, boom, bounce, boom. So I had to wait for that bounce. I'm wondering if, like, instead of taking a sniper hold, if I had held the gun down over here, right? That's an interesting idea that I've never tried. I wonder if I could actually shoot faster by securing the gun from the front and just having downward pressure and keeping the reticle from bouncing up and down. So that would be, now the disadvantage of that, because back here I can basically squeeze the bag, so every time the gun recoils, right, and it moves a little bit, I can, because I got basically 2 fingers on the stock, 2 fingers on the bag, and I'm able to adjust the elevation back here. So that might be the problem with holding it up here. Like I would be able to keep the bounce down, right? I would stop it from being able to bounce, but I'm not going to be able to control the, because from up there I'm not going to be able to move it as much as I can move it from back here. So that's an interesting concept. Yeah. So yeah, holding it down over here would stop that bounce, but I wouldn't be able to keep the reticle on target as well as I can control it from back here. So that was an interesting experiment. So the gun is the Palmetto AR-15. It's got the primary arms 1 to 8 PLX scope. While I was shooting, I did briefly consider maybe I should dial back down to 6 for that, to give me a wider field of view. But the recoil wasn't such that it was like throwing me out of scope. Like I could see the reticle, I could see the target at all times. It's just that there was a little bit of bounce, that the bounce needed to settle down. So I don't think that would be fixed by going from 8 magnification to 6 magnification. Let's go look at the target. Interesting point. I did this with the AR-10 308 yesterday, and I did something similar, not exactly the same, and I don't recall the bouncing. The reticle wasn't bouncing. I wonder if it's just because it's a heavier gun. All right, we're coming up on the target over there. So this is 200 yards. And the reason why I wanted to do it at 200 yards is because, you know, versus 100, it tends to exaggerate the differences. So we fired 20 shots. Let's see if I can count them. This can be a pain in the ass to, let's see what, you got to kind of follow the pattern. So let's see, we'll go up this way, around that way, here, there, there, and there. That's how I will count this. So we got, say, we got one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. 21 up there. So 20 is off the, one's off the paper. So let's take a look at the total group. So again, this is 1 MOA ammunition, 4 out of 5 shots. I mean, it's not like match grade ammo. I mean, it's good target ammunition where I can get like 4 out of 5 shots, 1 MOA, if I do it like often enough. So total group is about 8 inches. Usually I try and discount 1 or 2, but I don't think that would make a difference here. So we got an 8-inch group. I think we did better yesterday with the 308. We got 6 inches, but I was maybe I wasn't shooting as fast. So we got 8 inches at 200 yards. Shooting as fast as I can and keep the reticle on the keep my chevron, my aiming point over here. So a couple of times when you saw me slow down, it's because like I had bounced off and I had to move back. Most of the times it was going up and down, but a couple of times it went off to the side a little bit, and I had to bring it back. Now, as I was walking down here, I was thinking of what would make this better, because I had a bag. It was bagged front and back, which is what I had yesterday when I was shooting the 308, the AR-10. So if I had a bipod and the bipod's on the table, it wouldn't make a difference, right? Because on the table, it's going to bounce pretty much the same way. But if I have a bipod and I sort of like dig the bipod, if I'm in a prone position, and I dig it into the ground a little bit and like push forward on it, right? They call it loading up on the bipod. That would probably keep the, that would probably minimize the chevron jumping off target. So that would be probably the best way to minimize this, the chevron jumping around with every shot. Most of the shots, it was like, boom, it was going straight up and down because I wasn't pulling left or right. You can see most of the shots are centered. There was like maybe 3 shots that, 1 or 2 shots that off to the sides. But most of the shots were like boom, boom. But it was go boom, 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 and then it would settle. 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 That's what it looked like, right? So I need a good. So basically, I need to minimize the up and down. And the best way I can think to do that is to bipod, but I'd have to be shooting prone on the type of ground where I can almost put some forward pressure and kind of lock it into place so it doesn't do this up and down motion. So that was an interesting experiment. I've never done this before with a 5.56. I mean, 8 inches at 200 yards. That's 4 MOA. At for this rate of fire, I think that's pretty decent. I mean, this is basically a head here, right? This is an 8x11 paper, so these would pretty much all be headshots, right? Maybe an ear all the way out here. All right, but yeah, these are all headshots at 200 yards at that rate of fire that you guys saw. Hey, when I was doing a little thinking on the shooting, and by the way, there's the ammo I was using. I definitely recall there was at least twice, I guess 3 times, where I pulled the trigger prematurely, like the reticle had actually jumped over to this side, or when I went to pull the trigger, it kind of shifted. So these 3 shots over here are definitely me, okay? because I have it. I distinctly remember that happened. I remember when it happened while I was shooting. So putting those, and again, that was mostly because of that jumping I kept telling you, because of the way the gun was jumping on the bag every time I would fire, and it would go up and down a little bit. But these three aside, if we were to look at a cluster here, we got a nice 6-inch cluster at 200 yards at that rate of fire. All right, so that's what that's where like the majority of shots landed in this 6-inch cluster. There's like just 3 out here and that's because of me and my bad timing when I pulled the trigger.